up, guys? Welcome to Stompbox TV. I'm Richard. I'm here with Thomas Blug at Frankfurt Music Messe 2016. You've got an exciting new product to show us. We've seen the Amp 1 from you before, from BluGuitar, but we now have a Speaker Emulator pedal, correct?
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's called the BluBox, and it is a digital speaker emulator, since digital technology gives me all the power to really get all the nuances, all the details of the analog speaker emulation. A speaker is so complex. I tried to do it analog, and analog is good up to a certain point, but you know, all the like resonances and little details which we all love as the character of the tone for your guitar playing, you have to use digital technology. The technology is called convolution or impulse response technology. It's also used in the digital world for a while, but I thought I wanted to do a product that gives all my beloved cabinets, which is actually 16 of my own cabinets that I have collected over basically all my life, that I used live and that I used in the studio on many records, and I kind of emulated or modeled or profiled, whatever the word is. I transferred these sounds as close as possible using the mics that work with these cabinets into the new BluBox. So the result is it's super easy to handle. You just plug in, you dial in a cabinet, you have one extra control, which is the mic position, and that's it. So, you know, I'm a player. I know when you go on stage, there is no time to go through menus. You want to have a sound, and maybe you're an alternative. This is the kind of professional thing. Plug in, play, have the best tones, and you have a transformer balanced microphone out. It means if you connect this to the PA system, which is on a different ground, you will never have a hum. It's galvanically decoupled, so the transformer makes sure you never have a ground problem or a noise problem. And yeah, we have a huge selection of different cabinets. Well, my favorite cabinets, people know that I'm a Fender Classic, Marshall, Vox, but I also have been a session player in Germany for a long time. So I had to deliver everything from jazz to metal. So I have rectifier cabinets as well, besides the good old blackface, you know, Fender stuff, and my nice Vox AC30, which, yeah, and a 1957 Fender Deluxe. And I use different microphones for different cabinets. For instance, I'm not going into all the details, but you know, the classic Shure SM57 is always a good choice. But I'm a fan of the Shure SM7, which is the bigger brother, and that's my secret weapon through all the years. But also Sennheiser MD441, MD421s, and even Neumann, you know, the big condenser mics, studio vocal mics with tube. But in the end, I made all this, made the sounds like I would use them in reality, like I was using them in this when I do session work. So I packed my cabinets plus the miking experience, made this a preset, and you just dial it in, and there it is.
Excellent. I mean, I guess it's the logical next step. You took the amp head from the back of the stage onto people's pedal boards, but they still needed a speaker. So here we've got the let's say the logical next step. You can completely get rid of your backline. You know, if you're using in-ears, or if you've got decent monitoring, then this is your solution. Add it onto the Amp 1 and you're good to go.
Sure. I mean, you know, if you look at the reality today for a guitar player, in the 60s, you were filling the room from stage. There was no big PA systems, you know. Hendrix was having his Marshall stacks, you know, and the more on stage, the better the sound, okay? And the Beatles quit playing live because they couldn't be heard, you know, the amps were not strong enough. So today it's a different reality. We have good sounding PA systems. We have all this kind of monitoring system on stage, and you have the choice how to do it. We can still do it old school, but in most cases you get a sound engineer yelling at you, turn that fucking guitar down, you know? So, the first level I've done is bringing the big, good old tube amps to a new format, which is the amp 1. And with speakers, I have my own speakers, the Nano Cab, which is a very compact, the smallest 1x12 cabinet there is, which makes a lot of sense in today's pub gigs or when you have monitoring. Even if you have in-ear monitoring, you have something on stage still going on in case, you know, it pops out or you have the feedback with the speaker. But, you know, there's so many different ways. Some people just don't want anything or are not allowed to play anything. If you play a musical show or you play, you know, some special things, sometimes a speaker makes too much noise. And if I look at the single path, I was a little bit jealous on the digital guys for the speaker emulation. You know, on the amp, I'm very, very confident that I covered the character of analog tube amps maybe better than the digital world. I can explain you why. Because in the digital world, you need first you have to transfer this tiny signal from the guitar with the analog digital converter into the digital domain, then process it. And the complexity of overdrive is a non-linear phenomena.
You got that, yeah? You got it?
Okay, and you know, for a computer, it's easier to have linear stuff going on. So it's kind of an endless thing, and you can go, you know, how close can you get? So my amp is analog, and it does all these overtones just like a tube amp. You know, no conversion, and all the non-linear crazy stuff goes on my amp. So the next level is what is going on the speaker cabinet. There is the membrane, the paper, the resonance. There's, you know, so many parameters, and my analog recording out in amp 1 is probably one of the best analog recording outs there are. But I have even more filters than what is on the market, and I found it's going crazy because the details you cannot cover with analog. You would have a fridge to get there. And this modern technology, convolution technology, impulse response technology, captures more detail, which gives us more quality. And in the end, I'm an analog guy. That means the handling should be analog, and also the latency. Latency is what happens in the digital world because you have to convert it. And this takes time, but it's 1 millisecond. We had reduced it to the max, so it's only 1 millisecond, which equals 30 centimeters of distance. So with this BluBox, it's 30 centimeters distance away from a speaker. It's probably very, very good if you have in-ears because it's natural. It's not your guitar speaker in the ear. It's 30 centimeters away. So it feels right. I think it's the best solution there is for this moment, because I don't know any other technology that would capture this any better.
Well, for me, there's only two types of equipment. There's good equipment and bad equipment. It's not analog or digital. It's good or bad, and digital done well is fantastic, and we've seen it from so many companies. So, you know, I have no problem with this at all. Sure. I guess what we do need to know, though, is if this is good equipment, what does it sound like? So we can hear some demos of that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have to talk about sounds and sound characters. There's open back combos, there's 10-inch speakers, there's, you know, ceramic magnets, there's Alnico magnets and all that shit. I give you a few quick sounds here. I mean, it will take some time, but, you know, for instance, I have a nice, let's say, clean tone with a That's another one, like a super reverb. But then when I go into the overdrive world, let's see, I got my fat cap, my own cabinet here too. Or my nano cap. By the way, this is the mic position switch, so I can get it a little crisper or a little warmer. It's the position of the mic. Or I have some very nice, good old stack sounds, which is this is a very old Marshall cabinet. But the funny thing is, see how it cleans up. Or this one, or this one. All different kinds. But I try to make sounds that still have a match somehow, you know. Some people go crazy of the variety, you know, they want to show, oh, this is extreme here. I make sounds that really work in a band context, sounds that work in a mix, because I've been there, and it's for me it's not about to show what you can do. I want to make a product that you can use. So that's why we have only 2 knobs, and you have not too many options to fail.
So choose your speaker cabinet, choose your mic position, plug in, and you're done.
That's it.
And it's important to know what you've been listening to is direct from the straight from the pedal, essentially. So that's the sound that you can get out of it. And also, we've got the sound coming out from studio monitors. They're the little studio monitors. What are they? What, 4-inch?
It's Quested, a good old English UK brand. But it's a small studio monitor, and it sounds real. And here's a little story. I just recorded my last live concert with my German project Rock Anarchy. We play classic rock stuff. Okay, I have mic'd up my cabinet for the recording with my favorite Shure SM7 microphone, and I had another track using direct signal, with no speaker sound on it. So no microphone, direct from the power amp, just reduced in level, so I could record it. So this untreated signal I have recorded. In the mix, I tried to work with the mic'd up signal and with the BluBox. And guess what I've done? I used the BluBox because it sounds better than my mic, which I have been tweaking and fiddling for years to get the best position on the speaker. Because my emulated sounds, I had more time, I had more options, I had more positions, I had more speakers even. So,
well, it's another really important point that if you're not trained on studio technology, it's very easy to mic something wrong. You can't mic it wrong with the BluBox.
That's the point. That's the point. My experience. I've done all this bad experience. You know, when I was young, I had a Mesa Boogie, and I was looking for a different sound. A Mesa Boogie is great for something, but I was looking for a Hendrix sound with the big balls and everything. I had the wrong amp, and I learned a lesson. My tone was very thin when I was younger. And in the studio, some guy said, you know, guy, this is not the best thing. And this was critical to me, having the job or losing the job. And so I learned it the hard way, but I learned it how it is. And that's my experience, and I think this is what I would want to bring to the market, my experience. Basically, this is what I can do. There's many great products, but BluGuitar products is my experience, basically.
Well, thank you very, very much for that. It does sound fantastic. You can use it even at home, as we said, through your studio monitors. Get rid of your amp. We do sell amps, so don't be too hasty. You don't have to use this with the Amp 1. You can use this with any sort of preamp pedal, but the Amp 1 is worth a try as well. And again, you can get that from us at stompboxfxpedal.co.uk. Thank you, Thomas. That's been fantastic. We'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers.